Welcome back to Copper Star Precision, the channel dedicated to getting you more points at your competitive shooting matches. Today we're going over the NRL22 course of fire for August 2023. We have for some pretty unique stages, some things we haven't seen before. We're going to be using the tripod in this first stage, so definitely make sure you're subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications down below so you don't miss any of the 5 videos I'm putting out about this month's course of fire, hopefully to help you score more points. So let's just kick it off with the stage. First stage in the booklet, it's called Science Fair Bridge Building. It's a 12-round stage, so if you have 10-round mags, you're gonna have to do a mag change. I'll talk about when that might be most appropriate. And we have a 55-yard and a 95-yard target, 1.5 inch and 2.5 inch. I'll put the target sizes down here like I usually do. And essentially, the restriction is that we only have one bag, but we can use an arca plate or barricade stop. And the stage description is as follows. So starting position, standing 10 feet behind the ladder, rifle grounded next to the ladder with mag in, action open, bag attached or in hand, tripod in hand if used, and the tripod use is optional and fully deployed. We're going to talk about that in a second. Stage description on the start signal, build a position on the 3rd step of the ladder and engage the targets with 3 shots near and then 3 shots far. You will then move to the 4th step and engage targets with 3 shots near and then 3 shots far. If you can't reach the steps 3 and 4, you can use 2 and 3. And it says here, more experienced competitors are encouraged to use the tripod during the stage to demonstrate how tripods can be used as rear support. So obviously the introduction of a tripod is a new barricade or prop for the 2023-2024 season. So here we're using it here, which means we're probably gonna see more of it in the future. So they're kind of slowly introducing this. Last month we shot off the top of the tripod. Now we're using it as rear support. So we're probably gonna see this a lot more going forward. So it's good to get some practice in. This tripod's a simple, cheap aluminum tripod. It's actually probably a little shorter than what's needed for this stage, but it's going to work regardless, and I'm going to show you the best ways to use this for rear support. Now, I obviously, when it comes to the ladder stage, you know I'm a big advocate, if you've been following the channel for a while, I'm a big advocate for a flat bag on an arca plate. Something like this, the rifle remains pretty well balanced as it is. I'm assuming when they say 3rd and 4th step, they mean 3rd from the bottom and 4th from the bottom. And here, usually on the 3rd step, you know, 1st step for me is prone, this is kneeling, this is a high kneel, 3rd step. So if you don't have or you don't want to use the tripod, which is optional, perfectly fine here, like I do in all my other videos, flat bag on the arca plate, which is the Gray Ops plate. If you're a right-handed shooter, you put your right knee up, you put your elbow into your thigh, not on your knee, not a bone on bone, bone on muscle. Use this as rear support. You can even put a pump pillow here if you want. Left hand stabilizing the forend of a rifle. This right here is plenty stable, so no need to use this, but like I said, it's actually good practice to use this. So we're going to start the stage, and you don't have to use if you don't have a arca plate with a bag on it. I obviously recommend some small bag. Something like this is a pint-sized game changer. It does have this feature where it can wrap over, but because the rungs of the ladder are so wide, I'd always tell people to turn it on its side. Plop it down like that on its side. It gives you more surface area. So we're gonna start with the rifle grounded. It's gonna have the mag in, bolt back, and we have the tripod in hand. Now when you're carrying the tripod, don't carry it up here and, you know, run the risk of dragging it across the ground. Grab it low and put it up high so you don't trip over it or trip over anything. Tripods should be pretty light. This is aluminum. Your club probably has a nicer carbon fiber tripod. The camera that the GoPro I'm filming on is on my nicer tripod, which is why you don't see it here. Hold it low like this. So you'll have this in your shooting hand, right hand, and you'll have the bag in your left hand if you want to use a bag instead of the bag on a plate. And the idea is that you want the tripod to end up on the same side as the hand that you are dominant. So I'm a right-handed shooter, so it's going to end up on my right side. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my left hand as rear support on the tripod. And the reason you want it on your right side is you don't want to be like crossing across your body like this. You want it kind of off the side. And then what you'll do is you'll come in around the tripod leg. You also don't want 2 legs facing you. We're only using 1 leg of the tripod. So you should have 2 legs out, only 1 leg directly towards you, essentially perpendicular to the targets, okay? So this leg is coming out in this plane, the rifle is going in this plane, completely perpendicular, just like that. So we start 10 feet behind, we're gonna approach the stage. I'll have these things in my hand. I come up. I'm just gonna leave this off to the side for now. I'm gonna place my bag sideways if I'm using the bag, but we're not. But if you were, that's when you would place the bag. You come grab your rifle, Put your rifle in the third step. Our dope is already dialed for the 55-yard target. For, in my case, that is 0.1 mils. We're gonna get everything kind of set up here. We're gonna get everything pointed in the direction of the target. And then when we're here, we're gonna come around, we're gonna move this closer so that our arm can then go around this tripod leg, get back onto the grip. And then essentially what we're gonna do here is what we're doing is we're grabbing the leg with our non-dominant hand, our support hand, grab it like this, and then make a thumbs up. And what's gonna happen is that the back end of the rifle is just gonna sit in that little groove right there. So just grab the rifle, and then where you grab it is gonna kind of depend on the height. So we're gonna grab it somewhere. We're gonna give ourselves a thumbs up because we're awesome, and we're gonna make all the impacts on the stage. And we're gonna drag it this way. Try to avoid, you always wanna drag it like towards you. You wanna try to avoid pushing against you because then you can fold the legs up, right? So then this is no longer stable, right? So we always want to, if we can, kind of drag it towards us. So anyway, we're here. We put the rifle down, we kind of bring this over because we need our hand to go through so we can reach the trigger. And then again, grab it, thumbs up. We're just gonna maneuver this to the rear of the rifle, and that right there is rock solid. So I gave myself a thumbs up. I've got the rear of the rifle. I can move my hand up and down to change elevation. Now it is at an angle, so you're probably gonna get a little bit of side-to-side movement also, but then you can kind of make minor adjustments here. But this is super stable because, again, generally speaking, the more points of contact, the better. If you need to move left to right, you can even kind of like put your hand here and kind of move this, lift up a little bit so you're not, again, those legs aren't collapsing on yourself. So you're gonna just kind of come in here. If I need to move, I'll just kind of do a little dance here, move everything at the same time. Super stable. The gun is super stable like this. And what's great about this is we're doing 3 shots in a row on the same target. So once we're there, as long as you have a firm grip on the back, there's not a lot of recoil on 22s, so there's nothing to worry about there. We're gonna find our target. As long as we make a good wind call, we're just gonna engage 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Follow-up shots be pretty fast because everything should be super stable. Then we can come up here, we can dial up. My next target is at 95 yards, which for me is about 1.5 on my dope. I'm gonna find the target. Trying not to, so here I can like kind of move the gun, and then once I kind of find the target, then I'm gonna pull this in, again, give myself a thumbs up, and then that rifle is gonna sit right in that groove right there. So find the target, then grab this, pull it in to the back of the rifle, give myself a thumbs up right in that groove. 1, 2, 3. Follow-up shot should be very quick, no recoil on these guns, and with rear support like that, super fast follow-ups. Obviously take your time and make your hits, but you can spend a little bit more time getting set up on this stage. Now we're gonna go up to 4th rung, or you would have started on the 2nd. So then notice how when I move this out, I lifted it up. Again, we're not pushing this and collapsing the legs. I move the rifle, I move this out. You don't have to move it out that far, I'm just exaggerating. We're gonna come down. This for me is kind of gonna be little Jean-Claude Van Damme splits. Now I'm pulling it towards me, again, thumbs up, find the rear. This tripod is just tall enough. And then again, dial back down, near target. You have plenty of time to dial in the stage. 1, 2, 3, dial up, 1.5, far target. If you have to adjust parallax, you can do it with your reaching over with your trigger hand. 1, 2, 3. Super simple, especially with that rear support. This is so rock solid, which is why I think they're really trying to get you to get used to using it. Because whenever I'm doing that at a PRS stage, not NRL22, but PRS allows you to use tripods as rear support. And whenever I'm doing bad on a match, I'm like, hey, time to get some more tripod practice in, because it is one more piece of gear to manage on the clock. But if you can do it right, you know, and what I mean by doing it right is kind of getting in your general vicinity, right? Bringing it over, wrapping this around on the trigger. Now, I don't need this hand to stabilize the rifle anymore. I come here, grab it like this, give myself a thumbs up, put that right in the buttstock of my stock or chassis. And I mean, this is rock solid, especially with 2 points of contact. Incredibly rock solid. I could just sit here and just run this until the cows come home. So I hope you do choose to use the tripod, because it does give you such an advantage when it comes to rear support. And I hope I kind of explained well enough about kind of managing on the clock. Don't get too caught up with it. The biggest things again are don't push whenever possible. If you need to move the tripod away from you, lift it and move it, right? They're lightweight, they're aluminum, they're carbon fiber. I mean, it's more lightweight than your rifle is, right? So just pick it up and move it to avoid collapsing the legs. And then we need to bring it into you. Again, grab, thumbs up, find that rear of the rifle, and that's it. That's all there is to it. So I hope these tips and tricks helped. One more thing about this stage, 12 round stage, so mag change, right? I'm always an advocate of sort of changing mags if I need to in transition. So after our 6th shot on the 3rd rung, that's where I would drop the mag, put a new mag in, and then move, right? Because I don't want to get up here 9 or 10 shots in and then have to change mags. If you're someone who struggles with time management, you do have an opportunity to change the mag after the 9th shot, because then you're engaging a different target, so you are kind of in transition. But I would do 6 and 6. I mean, you can load your mags more than 6, which is good, just in case you have a malfunction you have to clear, so you have an extra round in your magazines. So if you only have 10 round magazines, I would have 2 10 round magazines, both fully loaded. One's gonna start in the gun, and then I'm gonna drop it after the 6th shot, put the mag in, and then move to the next rung. Just like that, come in, come out, bring this over here, just like that. Yeah, this is gonna be a little bit of a stand here. And here I might even go around like this because this is a short tripod. Yep, there we go. That's the spot right there. So almost at the top here, but works out well. Again, I hope these tips and tricks helped. If they did, please leave a like on this video, subscribe to this channel. Let me know down below what you plan on doing. Do you plan on using the tripod, or is it some new foreign thing to you and you're afraid of managing something else on the clock? Let me know. I do hope you try it, and until next time, as always, score more points.